On behalf of Judge Salinas, CEO Jackie Nidis, and myself, I welcome you all to the West Perry Branch topping off ceremony. I want to thank everyone for coming today to celebrate this event with us. It is hard to believe that we began discussing building the West Perry Branch back in 2014, when we were planning our 2015-2020 strategic plan. Unfortunately, our plans for a groundbreaking event in April had to be canceled. Fortunately, however, we are able to meet today and see the progress made on our building. When discussing the topping off ceremony, the word that I heard most often with respect to this event is excitement. People are excited to have a branch in their area and cannot wait until the branch is completed and opened in 2021. The building of this branch would not be possible without the help and assistance of many. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the City of Indianapolis and Deputy Mayor of Community Development, Jeff Bennett, and Dan Parker from the Department of Public Works. I would also like to thank Councilman Paul Anee for being with us today, and former councilman and current Decatur Township trustee Jason Holliday, who was unable to attend, for their support for this project. I also want to thank our newly named representative for District 20, Josh Bain, for being with us today, and I look forward to working with him in the future. I would also like to thank our many community partners, especially Eliza Vani, the Executive Director of the Burmese American Community Institute, who joins us today, and Zabik Bolton, the Executive Director of the Chin Community of Indiana, who was unable to attend at the last minute, and look forward to partnering with them and their organizations in the future. I also want to thank Schmidt Associates, HBM Architects, and Power & Sons for their hard work and for helping to create the vision for the West Perry Branch Library and for keeping our project on track. There are many people who are part of NDPL who deserve special thanks, including our CEO, Jackie Nidis, for attending community and CEO meetings and sharing her vision for a new branch in West Perry. I would also like to thank the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation and President Roberta Jaggers for their support of NDPL. I would also like to thank the West Perry staff, who have been busy working and filling in at other branches throughout the system, while still working together on creating programs for our West Perry branch in the future. Finally, I would like to thank our Indianapolis Public Library Board of Trustees, especially President Judge Jose Salinas and Dr. Terry Jett, Chair of our Facilities Committee, for their dedication to creating an important community asset in West Perry. Now I would like to ask President Salinas to come to the podium to say a few words.
All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to come out here and say a few words. This is the second time I've been asked to speak at an event at one of our libraries. We come together here to celebrate the coming of this facility in a very unique time and place in our city and in our county. The strength of a library is its ability to bring people together from all walks of life. And we need togetherness now more than ever. When this place is done, you will be able to look around and walk around and see things like quiet reading rooms, study rooms, community meeting rooms, fireplace area, I was told, right? A marketplace, a wall of glass that sees all that beautiful wooded area, and a world language materials area. A world language materials area. Because the south side of Indy, much like the rest of our county, is growing and changing, and a library, at a minimum, must recognize the change in the demographics and meet the needs of the people it serves. One of the things I'm proud of that they've done down here in the south side is look to the future of our patrons. I was told that in an effort to get library cards out to our students, grades 2 to 12, I think, 1 through 12, 14,000 plus, 14,600 and change new students were registered with library cards. Over 10,500 were new library card holders. That's amazing. The opening of the West Perry branch comes at an opportune time. With resources being scarce and people's library needs remaining constant, this branch has a big and important job. It must meet the needs of the people that it serves. And I'm talking about the needs of the people within its catchment area and also the needs of the people outside of its catchment area. I have every faith and I have no doubt that with the leadership of Peggy, this branch will do its job. As I mentioned before, a library serves a direct and important purpose. There is, of course, the lending of books and audios to the public, but there is also the community partner function. If ever this community needed a place where people can unite, it is now. The projected 108,000 to 200,000 annual future West Perry library people that come here will have a world-class facility to meet its needs. I want to thank everyone for being here, and God bless. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. Terry Jett to the podium. She is the chair of our Facilities Committee and a member of the Board of Trustees. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. In the spring of 2019, I saw an enthusiastic group of families come together for a community meeting at the Meridian Woods Clubhouse to participate in an interactive public meeting led by Schmidt Associates and HPM's architects to discuss the design of this new West Perry branch. This elaborate, mind-breaking session, as it was suitably termed, involved looking at various library designs and then noting on colorful Post-it notes expressions regarding particulars on details such as entryways, children and teen areas, and collaborative spaces. I remember it was a long night, but community input is important, especially for public libraries, because they belong to the people, regardless of background, and should never be confused as any one person's salvationist wishes of what is best for you. You should be able to determine that through a collective vision, and after all, it is your taxpayer money. We can look at it as an investment in the multitude of lives that can be saved through the construction of this library, which will expand the reach of this extensive public library system to you. When you stop to think about it, you can see it as a matter of priorities. As Jane Jacobs says, cities have the capability of providing something for everybody only because and only when they are created by everybody. In the summer of 2019, I was in Brooklyn, New York, and on a Saturday morning, I decided to go to one of their farmers markets. It was situated right across the street from the Brooklyn Public Library, which was naturally my next stop. When I went into that library, there was an expansive children's area, and I saw at least 100 people, adults and children, sitting and kneeling together in a smallish community room, listening to someone read a story. The children seemed mesmerized. That was a beautiful sight. Up the street was located the Brooklyn Museum of Modern Art, and that same Saturday evening there was a Frida Kahlo exhibit opening with a long line of people waiting to get in, including me. I recognize that at least in that part of Brooklyn, there is a distinctive prioritization of values that are in alignment with both the needs of the community, the celebration of their various cultural identities, and their collective aspirations. There is privilege in this level of hope and execution. Returning to this topping off ceremony, it is unique because typically there is a groundbreaking and then we blink and there is a grand opening. As I understand it, it is typically the iron and construction workers that sign beams or mark the completion of a roof or other significant indicators of progress. Therefore, I view this ceremony as appropriately paying homage to the diverse group of men and women, such as steelworkers, who toil by volcanic heat moving machinery that can weigh thousands of pounds, as described in an essay by Joseph S. Peet titled "The Human Toll of the Steel Mill" in the Gary Anthology. The United Steelworkers Union is 1.2 million working and retired members, which they describe as working together to improve our jobs, to build a better future for our families, and to promote fairness, justice, and equality. This library, this West Perry branch, when complete, I hope will do the exact same things: help people improve their jobs or search for better ones, provide resources that will support families towards a better future, and promote and treat everyone in a fair, just, and equal manner. I sincerely thank the hardworking construction team, especially in the midst of this pandemic, for their risk and sacrifices in bringing us to this point.
Thank you, Dr. Jett. Now I'd like to call up Deputy Mayor of Community Development, Jeff Bennett.
Thank you, Peggy. I'd like to echo Dr. Jett's sentiments. We get to do a lot of groundbreakings and we get to do a fair amount of ribbon cuttings. We rarely get an in progress, so this is a treat. So thank you to the design and engineering teams, and thank you to the construction crew for letting us interrupt your work for a little bit today to celebrate. The need for a library in this location has been long-standing. This fills a gap in the library service area, and it just so happens to be on the border of two council districts, Councilor Bain and Councilor Ane, who are both here today. You guys are lucky because this also represents growth. So not only was there a long-standing need, this is a thriving, growing, diverse part of town. And so this library will become a landmark that sort of signifies that the South Side is here and is growing and is a desirable place to be. It's also great to see the library's progress on its 5-year plan. So you think about the Eagle Branch Library, which opened in 2019. Eagle Branch was my first library on the west side, so it's cool to see the new location open up. The Martindale-Brightwood branch opening just recently this year, and then next year, just about a year from now, this branch opening up. Libraries are community centers, and during normal times, they are places to gather. And our daughter was a summer reading program member at the Irvington Branch Library, and that was the place that we went every week during the summer. And to have a place where people can go and be themselves and get access to resources is something that we'll look forward to when we return to a time when we can safely gather in groups. But I will say that during this pandemic, the library has been an essential partner in providing access to emergency resources. So programs that we offered that required internet access, for example, when the library was able to reopen, the library was a place where people could go and can go to apply for resources like rental assistance and other resources that are currently available as we respond to the public health crisis. So it will be exciting in a way to get back to what we hope is normal with humans gathering together, but we certainly appreciate the library's partnership as a resource in these truly unprecedented times. And it's great, of course, to see what has been needed on the South Side for far too long finally get fulfilled through the library's plan. So my thanks to Jackie, my thanks to Peggy, congratulations on where you've come so far, and thank you for sticking with this project on the South Side. And I want to recognize Roberta Jaggers in the back. Thank you to the Public Library Foundation for your support of this project and so much else that the library does. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I would like to introduce Councilman Paul Anay from District 23.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday to everybody. It's great to be here. To any visitors who might be from other parts of the county, welcome to the South Side, Prairie Township. It's great to have you, and I look forward to having and seeing your smiling faces back once this very important, significant project is completed. I first and foremost want to thank all those who have worked so hard, the architects, the workers, the builders, Judge Salinas, Dr. Jett, Mayor Bennett for his support. Of course, Jackie does a fantastic job, and we're lucky to have her, and Lisa. Thank you all for your hard work. It's so appreciated. It's long overdue. Deputy Mayor Bennett hit it on the head. And this is exciting. For so long we've had a location in Prairie Township known as the Southport branch, but to have a bridge to the west side is just so critical. We all know that libraries play a fundamental role in society. They serve as gateways to knowledge and culture, which is so important, especially on the south side today. Libraries preserve history and, more importantly, truth, which is so important today. They connect our community in a way that is extremely important and intimate, and they provide a calm and disciplined environment for our students and families. And with truly one of the greatest corporations, school corporations in our state, one of the largest and fastest growing, what a momentous opportunity and day. So it's amazing to think that where we're standing today, in a very short period of time, students and families will have the opportunity to sit down and build resumes, to find jobs, explore medical and other research, important research, to experience and learn new ideas, some that might be challenging to their own beliefs and make them uncomfortable at times, to read stories like some of the great classics and you know, To Kill a Mockingbird, Huck Finn, while exploring and learning new and other cultures, to hear stories like Wyatt Earp, Annie Oakley, to learn of figures like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, and get lost in wonderful stories. That'll be happening here just a short period of time, and it couldn't have happened without a vision that went back a period of time. So thank you all very much. This is so needed, and our students and families here in Prairie Township will, without a doubt, be realizing a dream, and I think we'll probably see some future congressmen, some great attorneys, teachers come out of this location. So thank you, and best of luck to the future.
Thank you, Counselor. Now I'd like to call up our CEO, Jackie Nidis.
I think that the fact that we're here today is a wonderful testament to the patience of the people on the South Side, because it was very clear when we worked on the capital projects plan as part of the strategic plan back in 2013 and 2014 that there was a gap down here. We were aware of that. We also had this long list of things we needed to try to get accomplished. And when you serve the entire county, as our public library system does, sometimes it's really hard to say to folks who have such a legitimate need, hang on, we're coming, we're going to get there. But as you all know, we can't do everything all at once. And so again, I really want to offer a statement of gratitude to the folks on the South Side for trusting that we would get here. They just had to be there and hang in a minute with us. I'd also like to just observe, if you can with me for a moment, when we were looking for sites down here, we thought we'd be able to find a site pretty easily. And quite frankly, it was a challenge. And I remember this cornfield where we are. And thank goodness the folks at Citizens Energy, the public trust there, understood how important it was for us to have the right location for this new library. And it is no longer a cornfield, although I saw some great soybeans on the way down here. That's a little bit of a comment on how complex of a place Indianapolis and Marion County actually is. that we can drive by soybeans on the way to a library program. A special word of thanks today to the folks from Powers, because you guys have been very dedicated to this project, and your relationship with us is a new one for us. It's a new way to build a library, a way we haven't done in the past, and we're very grateful for your wisdom and your knowledge of this industry and how much we're learning from working with you, and so I can't say enough about that relationship and how pleased we are. I will say, as a wrap-up, I know the next speaker is going to be introduced by Peggy, but this is the second library that Schmidt Architects have done for us on the south side. Some of you may realize that they did the Franklin Township Library some time back. And I think it's also kind of exciting to realize the investment that local firms like Schmidt have made in our community. It's not just the kind of work that they did downtown on Mass Avenue, but it's the kind of work that they've done across the county. And that shows, I think, a great deal of commitment and investment in all of Indianapolis. So we look forward to seeing you all here again, probably early next summer. And that should be another moment for great celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Before I introduce the next speaker, I just want to thank you all for coming. We appreciate the time that you put in, and I want to pre-invite you to our grand opening next year. I think it'll be a great event. Next up, we're going to follow with Lisa Gompertz from Schmidt Associates.
Well, good afternoon. I've had the pleasure to serve as a project manager with Schmidt Associates on this project, working with the Indianapolis Public Library and Powers & Son to create a community-oriented facility to be the center of knowledge, community life, and innovation for the west side of Perry Township. I grew up in Perry Township and remember fondly visiting the Southport branch with my parents and participating in the summer reading program. And I continued to use the library as a resource throughout my schooling. And then when I became a parent, and I continued that tradition with my girls, introducing them to the library and the reading program. They acquired appreciation and a love for reading at a young age. And I'm excited to be able to expand the library resources and memories for Perry Township families with this new facility. This 24,000 square foot building is sitting on this beautiful 6-acre site. And we began the design for this facility in January of 2019. And as was mentioned, we had a community engagement process with the community here and discussions with library leadership and developed a series of goals for the project. And those included creating a significant public building that will be a destination and a focal point of activity and become a hub of the community. That includes a community room, which will be right here, that will hold approximately 100 people. And we wanted to make sure that we created a space that had maximum functionality and flexibility of space. We are actually kind of sunk down a couple of feet because we're going to have a raised access floor in this building that will allow us to be able to move things in the future as needs change in the library. We wanted to create an open, inviting, and healthy facility both inside and out. We wanted to create a family-friendly space with a children's zone, which is right here, a teenage section which you are sitting in, and a comfortable family room that'll be right over here just on the other side of the community room that'll have a beautiful fireplace to sit in front of in the winter, and then a quiet reading zone, which will be in kind of that back corner, if you will. We wanted to create an accessible facility culturally, physically, and technologically. There will be access to technology throughout the facility and approximately 30 dedicated computer stations for the community to use. We also wanted to provide a balance between occupant comfort and energy efficiency. As an example, it is projected that over 80% of the building's power will be supplied by solar panels that will sit on the top of this building. We also wanted to create views to the beautiful creek, which is right behind me here in the tree line, and use large amounts of glazing around the building, particularly on the north side. So everything you see that's still open will be large windows that will allow natural daylight into the facility. We wanted to incorporate energy and resource conservation measures into the design to achieve a minimum of LEED Silver. So far, we have successfully achieved all the design credits submitted and are looking favorable to achieving that LEED Silver goal based on the projected construction credits. Once the building is open, there will be a self-guided tour highlighting many of these sustainable design features for the community to learn about. The design of the building will have a unique aesthetic on the exterior with warm wood tones at the entry and a series of perforated panels that will create depth and movement on the elevation while providing shading for the large amount of glazing that you see. The north elevation, just on the other side of that block wall, will have an outdoor patio space that will allow patrons to enjoy the library and the outdoors at the same time. The interior will be very open and light-filled on 3 sides of the building, having large amounts of glazing that will allow the interior spaces to be flooded with natural daylight. In addition to the large meeting room space, there will also be a series of 4 smaller group study rooms that will be accessible to the community. The children's space will provide unique experiences, including a small tunnel entry, as well as interactive panels and furniture. The teen area will house a colorful mural and provide dedicated reading materials, seating, and computer stations. I hope that you can see that the building has been carefully designed to provide many unique experiences for the Perry Township community. It has been an honor to partner with the Indianapolis Public Library and Powers & Sons on this project to create this wonderful community asset. Thank you.
And you can take the pen with you.
My signature, you're not going to be able to tell that's me.
I'm signing something like
Yeah, that's more.
that's your over delivery. Well, we were talking about the
Do you want to try something already? Get my finger.
I'm kind of used to this. This is my backyard's full of these. So cool. Yeah. Yes. Hi, Ron. Let me know. You guys doing your tournament?
Oh, well, you're not tables there, so anytime you just.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, hold your pen and look this way. I don't know about the mask, but that's okay. There you go.
Okay, well, at least it's a library mask. Thanks, Joe.